Hey friends, welcome back. Let's see if we can bounce back this time. Had a break yesterday, so that's fine. The day before, we actually did break quite even, so we're still at about $43. We did have a dollar C dollars, which sort of helped us. So we were slightly down for the session, for the last session, and having a dollar C dollars definitely helped. And then we actually randomly had another dollar cash ticket as well. All right. Anyway, let's try and focus today. We're probably about one really bad session away from being in the red. Not being in the red as in just saying the danger zone of having to really adjust our game strategy. And, do we call? All right, let's get a shovel in here. We've got a gut shot flush draw as well. Had a feeling he's a good call anyway. Okay, let's go. Ace. The ace still plays though, so funny enough. Okay, didn't get there, but definitely we made the right play there, I think. Especially if our opponents are going to fold there some of the time as well. We did have a gut shot. The ace played as well. So having the ace play as well, that's definitely a plus. So we're like a 1 in 3 chance there. Plus fold equity, plus making the call. The pot we're already in. So it's a high variance play. We probably can't afford that, but at the same time, we still made it anyway. We're not going to stop playing where we think we can be aggressive, and that was probably one of the spots where you can win a lot or lose a lot, definitely. But overall, it should be a winning play there. I mean, probably at this level, they might not fold enough for the aces and kings. But against the really nitty, tight aggressive regulars, they might actually fold that spot. Okay, King Jack's missed everything. And yeah, happy Father's Day for anyone that's a father as well. It's Father's Day here, so okay, ace four's folding, small blind. Still going to continue being quite tight in the small blind. But we're not going to try and, a couple other things we're going to make sure we don't do is try and call too many. We're not going to call 3 bets out of position. More likely to call in position, but at the same time, we need to probably be careful of that too, because people don't really 3 bet wide enough in this level. All right, so we've got a flush draw. The ace could play as well. Got 2 over cards. Queen doesn't always play, obviously, when you see pocket kings in some spots. All right, got aces. Definitely going to continue the height. If he's got jacks and tens, he might follow as well. Might have some type of straight draw. All right, got a set of 2s. You're going to raise it up. Get a bit smaller to a third of the pot with a set of aces. All right, it's going to shove with 2s. Hopefully it's got ace king. All right, nice. We are not going to cash out. We are still not going to cash out. In certain scenarios, we're not going to cash. If an ace or a 10 comes out, so be it. Ace 5, we could probably squeeze, but I'm not going to go that line. Especially when we can't afford to be too aggressive. Anyway, that was a nice double up for a set of 2s. Makes up for the last set of 2s that we folded. Thanks for spotting that out. As much as it pains me to get that spotted out to me, but at the same time, it definitely brings me on high alert whenever I, have a set or even a pocket pair. It can easily go into. So that session, not last session where I had the set of 2s and folded. The session before that where I lost a shit ton. The whole point is I was in autopilot mode, which is not great. But at the same time, I didn't really play that badly. But given autopilot mode, we were probably playing a little bit too loose post flop. So that's where the leak probably come from. The 10 doubles up. I don't think we could value this one. He could have 2 overs. You could have a 9. He could definitely be doing this with ace king though. I think they're a call. All right, there you go. All right, ace 9 going to this flat. Ace queen going to go in with a c bet. All right, we'll call with ace 9. We are out of position, so we're going to go check call scenario. If he bets too big, he might be actually having a really strong hand. Really wanted to see a 9 there on the river. Split. I didn't actually think it would be a split though. I thought we'd actually get him, or he just heavily dominated us. All right, ace 9, gonna fold. Although it is one of those scenarios where you're either gonna flop it, flop the nuts, or at least flop a really strong flush draw. But 15 big blinds out of position is definitely not great, and that's the spot where I was talking about where I'm gonna fold a bit more. There is just no point, because when you call a 3-bet out of position, essentially with a non-paired hand as well, you're just going to be playing fit or fold on the flop, and that just means that your opponent's going to get, whenever they see bet, you're going to be forced to, and you miss the hand, you're going to be forced to actually fold most times, and it's just a waste. Jack 10 folding from the small blind. I know some of you might think that's very weak. At the same time, you're out of position. And against a good big blind, you could probably get slaughtered as well. You lose enough in the blinds without playing bad in the blinds as well. Jack 3 suited, gonna fold that one. Jack 10, are we squeezing? No, he's a short stack. So if I'm gonna open up with Queen Jack just to try and steal the pot there, nothing else. If it's 3-bets, we'll have a question though. All right, gotta bet some value with the queen there. Queen 10, get a bluff. All right, we'll throw some value. He might have probably jacks maybe, but he won't have 3-bet there. He might have 9s. Oh, wow, okay. We value bet ourselves, unfortunately. All right, 10's just defending against a whole ton of draws and flushes, and love to see a fold. If they had a heart, they're definitely winning. So we had to bet there, especially on the turn. All right, 7s. 10 set mine. Good check raise here. Could be interesting. Good check raise. Play a strong line, and then if he's got ace king, he's folding. If he's got ace jack, he's folding. If he's got ace queen, he's probably raising. Whew, so would have been really pretty if he called and then we just shove on the river. Unless he's got pocket queens. If he's got pocket queens, we're just losing every day of the week. All right, so today's session's going to be quite long, hopefully. But hopefully it's going to be profitable. So far, looks to be going okay. I'm going to bet here. We've got position. Looks like he's playing quite weak. Like to see a fold. I'm going to raise. He's only betting 3. So we need to go up to 10. Like to see Lander at least falls fed away. All right. We're going to bet this one, try and get a fold, but could be just losing there. I don't 100% agree the way I played the hand, but it worked with the pocket 7s. It's going to be a hand where if you see the king, he's going to shove. If he does believe us, he folds, obviously, like that. All right, going to thin value bet with ace 9. Far out again. All right, so just settle down with the thin value bets, but at the same time, ace 9, far out, ace 10 calls. All right, I got to check here with ace queen. We had our hands a couple of videos back where we had ace king. And it was just a really hard board to play. And, ace jack, ace 10 have got two pair on us. All right, going to throw a thin value bet, but we know where that's going sometimes. Gut shot with ace 10, get a free card in the river. Also, we're playing a flush as well. But also the fact is we weren't drawing to the nuts. Okay, pocket aces, like to see that raise. Let's just shove all in and see what happens. Hopefully Joy Pill calls. And if he folds, so be it. Probably just shoving there. I think it's fine. But at the same time, I think we could be losing out there as well. Because he could be calling a 4-bet if he's got ace king. But definitely flipping when, if he's got jacks or tens. Now, if he had queens there, he got hit on the flop. It's totally out, so. All right, gonna fight. Let's give it just making sure on the stack there with sixes, making sure he's deep stacked before we actually decide to call that. All right, king 10 suited for under the gun. Yeah. All right. Easy enough to play with the set mine. Flop the straight with ace king. We are betting it. A lot of two pairs will call. All right, king 10, just going to let go. Even if we hit a king or a 10, we're in problems. Now if he's got a set, he's got a balk. It's turned into a balk, so. You might have to check behind on the river if he calls. All right, it's going to check behind. He could have it. Okay, maybe I lost a little bit of value with the trips, against the trips, but still a nice hand. He could definitely be slow playing there a lot of the time as well. Just the reason why I did check behind was there was just a ton of hands that he had, like that had full house. All right, king queen. I'm not calling or raising a 4-bet. Didn't 3-bet us here. He opened up just to see where he was. They sometimes throw in a 1 big blind just to test their hand, which usually means they got a marginal hand at best. Very weak, just trying to steal the pot. Maybe he's got like pocket twos or something like that. He's got some weak small pocket pairs, so he's just throwing it in there, hoping someone folds. The lower your bet size, the less it actually has to work. So, but yeah, we actually raised it up though. Try and steal. So, ace 9 at a position to get under the gun, definitely folding there. I'm gonna bet this one though, say just because we can get called with maybe some draws. We could actually be in front of that stage. Ace king. We to get 3-betted. No. It's one spot where you want to get 3-betted in the blinds and just like call. Okay, ace queen, top pair, good kicker. Okay, check in there. We've got a good kicker. Okay, we'll call. Oversized bet could mean a few things there. Looks like a bluff line, maybe. Could be a set. I'm going to call, but I don't like it. All right, there you go. The line didn't make any sense. If he had ace king, he's probably betting there because there's a few draws out there. Anyway, that is hero call number 2 for the session. And if you're not feeling confident as well in your game, you could probably call it a session and just book in the win now and win. Ooh, no, I'm going to fold. He's short stacked. If he's deeper stacked, we call. So if he's matches our stack at least, I think it's definitely a call. Because we can now play in post flop. It's where the raw money is. Deeper stacks. Also, it's where you lose your money as well. I'm going to flat ace 3. Just fighting with 4s. Probably could have folded as well, because when you do hit a set, it could be a cool off with everyone else in the hand. Even if we hit a 4 now, with so many people in the hand, you can't be 100% confident. All right, ace 3 folding, and 4s, I just don't think we're going to make it. All right, 7s are in. 4s go on. Never a doubt. Never a doubt. I'm going to call with 7s then because the ace is out. All right, I'm going to throw a bet in. Looks like he's given up. Beautiful. Okay, he's just playing against his hand there. I'm going to open that base 2 suited. Okay. Maybe having the day off actually helped. Went and saw Ross Noble last night. He was pretty good. All right, got a call here. We can't raise. All right, do we call? All right, could have folded. It's a hero call though. Probably should have folded that one. Yeah, so this is the risk now that we are facing because we've actually done some successful big hero calls. We're not talking about small hero calls, people that have pretty much shoved all in. Now that we're going to overcall these big river-sized bets, it's going to cost us a lot and do reverse, so we need to be very careful. All right, we'll defend Queen 10. So we'll have to adjust there. Open up King Queen suited, open up Queen 9 suited. Ooh, okay, we could probably raise this up with Queen 10. He's not playing a strong line. We don't have any showdown value here as well. Lose against this. All right, we can't block this, I think. All right, queens are raising. Ace, queen. We'll call and keep all these bad hands in. Yeah, queen chances letting go. All right, got a gut shot flush draw. I don't think we're going anywhere. All right, remember we do have all these other hands that are in. So if we did check behind. The board has paired though, but we're going to shove anyway. We've kept all these trashy hands. Unfortunately, folds. Okay, ace king, 2 overcards, flush draw, beautiful. We're going to bet it up. Like we've got aces or kings. We do have a flush draw as well. Continue betting. Get into the 50 size, 50% of the pot. He's only got 58 big blinds. I think if he calls here, he goes all in anyway. We'll get the rest of it in. And we shut the best hand. Beautiful, drawing dead. All right, so really good session so far. I'm not going to defend 7-6 offsuit. There is a gut shot though, but you have to ask yourself, there has to be a limit of how far you're going to go. Just check behind here. And we can probably do a thin value bet, maybe close with the jack. 3 betting ace king, checking behind. Jack 10, nice. I'm going to call two big blinds there with 2s. Just trying to snap another 2 on the turn or river. If he bets again, I think we're just letting it let go. Shoves all in. It means he's pretty scared. Yeah, he might have ace jack there. It's a straight, but he's not really scared. But if he's got a hand like, top pair, top key, go roll, two pairs, and you can see the board's going to flush up or hit straights. It's quite scary, and some people just don't know how to deal with it. And we'll defend with ace two. It's the bare minimum call. All right, we've hit a pair. All right, we'll call one. All right, we'll throw in a value bet. We've hit two pair. If he's got ace king, ace jack, he's calling. Ah, okay. I'm going to three bet ace king. All right, that was unfortunate. It was a split though, or a chop. All right, ace king. Where are they going? Three bet's 4%. I should have fold. Probably could have called actually, but he might have had kings. Okay, hit a straight. Beautiful. Three betting tens. Continued the onslaught with the king queen. Didn't want to see that card, but at the same time, we're just going to continue it. You could have two pair of set and just snap this off. He's got a lower straight actually. All right, Caesar's going to have a stab, try and win the pot early. I'm not totally against the ace king hand that I folded there. I am sort of seeing the ace there. I'm sort of like, but at the same time, out of position. We're either full betting or folding. Oh, actually, he full bet us. And with the 3% range, I guess ace king could be at the bottom of the range. All right, I'm going to bet here quite small. Not calling 7 out of position. In position though, but too expensive. They suited hand. It was just way too much. All right, open up queens. Open up ace 9. Nice. So far, so good. What we can do to protect our hands as well, our table, or our bankroll, we can probably close the table down at the top left. Yeah, and we're going to fold ace 10. It's going to be an interesting spot, that one. We hit a pair plus a flush draw as well. Probably the one hand we could call, but at the same time, if he's got kings or aces, and maybe could have called, but yeah, being out of position, I guess ace 10 to ace, ace 10 suited plus, we probably could call. It's probably a little bit too tight. Maybe we over adjusted with calling 3 bets and folding 3 bets. But at least this shows that we're actually doing it, which is probably more important than the result itself. It shows discipline. So, all right, going to flat with ace 10 suited. Keep everyone else's suited hands in, and then we can try and get flush over flush. And when they hit the flush, they will be raising us. So there is no question. Got a gut shot, double gutter. We're not going anywhere. All right, top pair. It is a scare card, but we have to throw a bet in because it is flush draws. All right, I'm going to fold sixes. Any of 3, I'm going to call with 3. All right, got to let go with ace 10. The reason why I bet there as well, sorry, what is he sorry for? Yeah, anyway, the reason why I bet there is because I wanted to protect my hand against drawing type hands. Yeah, the 2s aren't going. All right, let's open up king 9. Okay, we'll throw the bet in. We've got open ender. Yeah, such a weak hand. You don't mind firing away. We not good call there. Yeah, deeper stacked. He does bet raise, but we'll let it go. Could be heavily dominated. I just don't want to. What did that change for? Okay. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know you could actually change it on this screen. I didn't know you could change the big blinds. So you got $7 on the table, or on that one. So we probably should get rid of. We're going to globally sit out. We'll 3-bet ace 10. Okay. Yeah, we'll try and win this one with ace 10. Nice. Didn't expect. All right, we'll close that one. And then we'll reopen as well. And just protecting our bankroll at this stage. So we've just banked it up. You can see we've got $40. So you can see that we're actually up now because we've got 40 plus whatever's on the table. That means we're heading towards 50, which is a good sign. It was pretty much said $40 before we had anything on the table before, but we had one lot of C dollars and then $1 C dollars and then the cash ticket as well. All right, fold and twos. Gonna definitely be raising up on the higher side of things with kings. Queen jack's folding. Just gonna check here with king jack. We're out of position. And then see what he does here. Goes all in. All right, we can't call. He could easily have a 7. Could have aces, queens. He could actually have nothing as well. Could be bluffing when he's saying sorry anyway. All right, we're going to tighten up our 3-betting range as well. All right, ace queen, king queen, fold jack 10. We did have a good spot to call there, but while we wait pot, we're in position to call this one. If he's got aces, kings, or queens, he's going to keep spitting them out. That should be just easy. Not a great card for us. He's got 9-10. Okay, we'll bet. And he'll probably fold a lot of hands here. Or he could shove with his over pairs. 7-5 is folding. Well, if he's got a 5. I guess going to raise here and just bet and call. Hopefully just calls. If he's got a 5 or a 9, we're in trouble, but 9-10. But he's got a jack, he's just going to call it off, I think. He's got pocket 10s, pocket 9s, he's just going to call. Tens, 9s, ace jack, king jack. Some type of okay jack might call. Overpairs might shove, like an aces or kings. Yeah, there you go, jack. So we had to throw the bet in. I don't think, because he took so long, I don't think we could have bet any bit higher, because I think he might have just folded out. All right, king, queen, just got to... Do we squeeze? Do we call? Gonna fold. And jack 9. Gonna fold this one as well. It is on the tightest side because we do have a lot of good turn cards coming our way, but at the same time, what I have said is we are trying to stay disciplined. I'm trying to stay not calling so freely at the moment. And that might mean we make a few questionable calls, but so be it. Okay, ace jack, good call. Check. All right, gonna throw a bet in here with the. He did it with a lot of other hands that could come over the top. And that, he's got draws, he's got flush draws. You have to throw a bet in there. And that's the reason why I didn't believe the other opponent when they shoved all in, because they should have thrown that bet in to defend their hand. Okay, no reason not to bet here. Should have folded. Pocket threes. All right, just gonna bet again. Ace queen folding here. Maybe I should call the pocket threes. Anyway. Gets a small blind range, you got to be a little bit careful. Like, as much as you got position, against the good small blind, you should actually have. Probably should have thrown a bet in there with A7. Yeah, okay. I don't think he's going to call it the 9, though. All right, we'll flat with Ace5. Bottom pair, but now it's not bottom pair. All right, so gonna let go. We don't need to get sticky with a shitty hand. Twos are folding. Yeah, ace offsuit hands, it's letting go. Look at 9's probably gonna let go here as well. Bet's quite big. Bet's pot size. All right, so I've got a big draw top pair and open ender. Multi-way pot as well. It's a rainbow board. It is a rainbow board. All right, I got a bit small actually because it's a rainbow board, and plus it was a multi-way pot, so I thought maybe someone might raise with a set, or at least both of them call with some type of good hand. That's the one time they actually have nothing. Well, 4 is going to fold. Okay, that's gone. That's gone. Wets, throw a stab in. No one else wants to bet, so we'll try and win it there. It's a lot harder for someone to have anything at this board, but now that we're a call, I think we just give up now. But we just tried to win the hand on the turn. All right, we'll just check here. I think we're beat most of the time, but he could have called with the flush as well. He could easily have a 7. They're going to let go. I think he calls behind with weak hands, where missed hands, but I don't think they're going to be bluffing there enough. All right, 2 over cards, gonna bet. Beautiful. Ace 10 offsuit. Definitely on the top end of our folding range. Ace jack we're definitely probably opening up there, but Ace 10, you can question to open it, you can question to fold there. All right, king queen against under the gun, just let go. Yes, it's very tight, I understand. And actually have a look now, we're actually at 90% of hands, which is quite low for us. We're sitting between the mid-20s. But at the same time, you probably want to play on the lower side of things just because of the high rake. To open up today's king. King 10 go open. Yeah, we'll throw a bet in. It's hit his range. He's playing 50% of hands. Let's continue betting. Love to see a fold now. So an 8 comes out with a straight, and we're going to make a fold there. I thought maybe given the player, he might actually just fold there pretty weak. Got a king come out. We're going to check it. And we will actually value bet this one against jacks and tens and a weaker queen. Not necessarily got a king. So that is a thin value spot. Sometimes second pair can be quite strong. All right, so we're given it. I think we're actually playing really well. Ace 8 suited, go fold. So at the moment, I think we're playing in the zone at the moment somewhat, but I want to hit that word sparingly. I feel like we're in the zone a little bit. I just can't throw a bet in. There's too many people in my hand. I want to throw a bet in, but with 3 other people around, I just don't see how it's going to win. We do have a 3. Anyway, on other news, we've got a nut flush. Look like we're giving up here. A lot of dangerous river cards that will stop the action as well. I'm just going to shove over the top. If he's got a book, he's got a book. Unfortunately, I thought maybe he had a 7. Got a little bit greedy, I guess, but all right. So the mindset is to try and, fold first, call second. Seems to be working at the moment. And also when we do have the aggression. Okay, if he's got king, queen. All right, we're definitely raising him. If he's got a set, he might shove, and then we've got a tough question there. Ace jack's continuing. Can't not bet there with aces. We'll raise it up with jack 10. We've got he could have a book easy or 2 pairs that he can't let go. I'm going to call 14. It could be losing here a lot of the times as well. It's got a straight. But it's only 14 over. Like, we already put so much in. As much as it looks like it's just an instant call, instant fold, it's not. It's not as easy as you think. He just got it on the river as well. Remember, we did bet every straight as well, so it's not like we didn't charge him. So in the end, he was playing losing poker and we weren't then. All right, so he was the folded when we had jack 10. Didn't 3-bet. We're going to try and open, and we're actually going to c-bet this one. King 5. We've got some back doors. So I'll bet there, even if he's got an ace. He's going to have a weak ace most times, though. I'm going to call with pocket 2s. The king's out there, so if he's got a king, he might actually pay. S10 just folding. I mean, looks like he's given up, so we're going to attack it. Use position. Beautiful. All right. We'll open up queen 3 suited in the button. Prove a dead board, but all right, gotta let go. Donking into us, leading into us, pretty much just Says he's probably got like an 8, but we can't really fight back with what we got. We got backdoor flushes and stuff, but it's just not worth it. All right, we got 7s, almost folded that. All right, king 9 folding there. Even top pair, he could easily have overpaired there. So the tightness does continue. And we could probably question if we close the table on the right-hand side now, just to try and just keep gathering the big blinds. But the problem is, though, with what we can transfer from a winning table and go to a losing table. All right, 7-5's gone. Out of position. We'll raise it up with kings. Hopefully he's playing jacks or queens or something like that. Got position on him. All right, 8s we're going to call. Okay, let's just shove all in with the kings. Does he have aces? Does he have ace king? Does he have queens? We could have probably flat. I'm going to call with ace 5. The straight's out for 6 and an ace. I can't really value. Eight's good. Yeah, I don't think we could have value bet there successfully. All right, we've hit the 6 and the board pairs up, so we're going to throw a bet in and try and win the pot. No one's showing anything. Beautiful. All right, ace king, top pair, top kicker. Let's bet it. Also, we're drawing to a flush, backdoor flush. All right, 10's going to bet. Ooh, he trips. But it doesn't change anything. That king doesn't change anything. Unless he's got pocket aces. All right, was it continue? He's probably the king. It's a split. Okay, he's got a 10. Beautiful. We'll definitely take that. Gut shot. And 7s are gone. Missed everything with a 10, but we still got third pair. So we've got some type of showdown value. That's the type of hand where you bet he's going to fold everything and just call when you're losing. Or when he's in front. It's just no point. All right, now we can call. He could have weaker hands. It's going to go over the top and shove. He's got short stack as well. So if he's got king, jack, king 10, he might call. And he's a short stack as well. And once the flush or, some funky hand comes out, it's on the river, he's just going to fold anyway. So you try and get the stacks in early on the turn. All right, king, jack's not scared of the ace, so we just let go there. King 6 is letting go. We're not getting too creative. I understand this. Some of you guys are probably thinking, you were folding way too much. Now we're playing at 18% of hands. But at the same time, we're just trying not to bleed any money at all and trying to win the max as well. Okay, we've got 2 overcards with the back door. We're going to pull. All right, we've got top pair. King, queen, king, jack. We'll call this one off now. Looks like, unless he's got ace 4, which definitely in his range because you didn't 3-bet. We'll just call it off. 2 pair. Didn't raise it. Yeah, the way he played the hand, you couldn't really put him on the hands that we dominated him, or he would have 3-bet most times. So just calling it, just realised he's going to be betting there with some weaker hands, but at the same time, some of his weaker ranges are definitely going to be over there. Ace Jack's folding, Queen Jack. Open-ended backdoor. Going to be very interesting. King 3, if he checks here. All right, there we go. I was going to try and throw a stab. I was going to stab that one. I've got a bet here. We've got an open-ender flush draw. There's no reason we can't win this hand. And got straight on it as well. So, unfortunately, I could see him calling with a lot of hands that did beat us at the time, but running problems later in the hand. All right. Question is, do we book some of those wins in? I think we do. And then in that case, like I was saying before, like in the last session, was just fold out. Just not fold out. Just play until you lose 3 big blind, like all ins pre-flop. But it wasn't working. The way I was thinking didn't really make sense. Right, I'll describe it a bit later what I meant. Got aces. If there's got a set. All right, I'm going to check here and shove him. We're playing like we got ace king, ace queen. If he takes the bait, all right, it's going to shove here. He could have a set of jacks though. All right, it calls me wider because we under-repped our hand on the turn. Because we under-repped our hand on the turn, he calls a lot looser on the river. All right, so we're going to close those ones down. And then we're going to reopen them again, but now we got 50 behind, but at the same time, it's going to get chewed up when we open these ones. All right. So we got 44 now, plus the table. So we're back over 50, which is a good thing. All right, pocket kings. We can fight with ace queen. I'm going to fold though. I'm going to see monsters under the table with ace queen, especially offsuit. All right, we'll check with kings. Got an overcard. We'll call this one. Now he's not sure what we've got at the same time. There's straights, there's flushes, everything has come out. I was going to go a check value bet line and try and get value from queens and jacks and tens, or a top pair, but he's betting it like he actually made his hand. And a lot of people do struggle with the ace high boards. You know, sometimes I do see bet there as well, even though there's an ace on the board, and just get that fold. All right, got aces, going to raise it up. We're in the small blind, so raising up a little bit higher is probably is a bit smarter. All right, 10-9's gone. Deepest stacked bloke. We're going to call him. Hit a set in position. The run continues. Didn't want to see a flush there. Got to slow his action down at best. He could have an ace of spades or a king of spades at this stage. And then if he just calls with the flush as well, we could the board pair up as well. Could also be so overset, but anyway, there's a nice little hand. Unfortunately, didn't get a call. All right. King queen gonna open up. Only opening up 2 big blinds at this stage. Seems to be working. Okay, get a just check behind. This is an easy fold. Just an easy fold. Just because, if he's got an ace, we're dead. Out of position, it's going to be a lot harder to get paid. Got a flat with ace jack suited. Got a gut shot with 9-7. That's a decent call. Do we have the pair now? If we checks here, we could have the best hand. Yeah, there you go. Wanted to see that check on the river, or at least a turn to realize that we're in front. But we did have a gut shot. Ace jack's missed everything. It's a small bet though. Don't think we can bluff it, but all right, gotta let go with 4s. Even though we've been hitting quite well, still on the upside of things though. That was quite a big bet. All right, 3 betting, ace king suited. Probably could flat it as well under the button. All right, playing 17% of hands now, so you can see the numbers dropping. Okay, 10-9. Also, the fact is too, it's on the weekend. So the weekend, softer players are about, more recreational players are playing. So you're probably more likely to get a better win rate during the weekend. But also, we're playing a lot tighter today, as you can see. We've been a little bit carried away in previous sessions, but at the same time, we're probably playing them a little bit too tight. But at the same time, like I said before, we don't mind being a little bit over tight rather than being a little bit over loose. All right, got a bet here. Had some backdoor flushes with 2 over cards. Problem is, if we hit a jack, we don't know. Or if we hit a king, we just don't know exactly where we lie. I didn't 3-bet us, so chances are we're going to be good. So we could probably throw in a value bet in on the river if we got to that. Jack 10. Just going to try and win c-bet. All right, got 2 pair. Definitely going to raise this one up, I think. Just got hands like ace queen. I can't see. I'm going to raise it, but he doesn't really have a strong hand, or he would have 3-bet a pre-flop. But so I'm going to raise on the smaller side of things. All right, ace 9 offsuit in the cutoff. Raising it quite high with jacks. Okay, c-bet, try and win. Okay, jacks could be good here. Could still have 2 overcards. Was almost tempted to 3-bet against the cutoff. All right, jacks are good. Maybe he's still out of position. You're going to get smashed. As soon as you check, they're going to attack relentlessly. I need to get a bet here while they're in front. So the little hands, we were actually winning as well, with the big difference. Ace 10 offsuit still continuing to fold that. I know that's tight, but ace jack we're playing though. So we're probably over adjusted slightly. Some of you might be thinking, no, this is exactly what you should be doing. And, the results are actually saying that's what you should be doing. That's correct. But yeah. Feels like a long time before I played this tight. Over 10 years ago. And again, thanks for all the comments and feedback you've been giving. I've small tweaks as well. I've adjusted the sound. A bit of call with 10-9. We could probably fold there as well. But we do have position. but he's going to fold that one. We didn't have any hands. Anyway, I did adjust the sound, so it should be a bit smoother on the microphone. All right, it's going to fold there with the ace high. Yeah, so adjusted the microphone, which should sound smoother. I noticed there was a few noises in the background that you could hear. Hopefully now that's cut off as well, but at the stage, no one's really home at the moment. So there's less distractions. There's less distractions at the moment as well. So that's another reason why we're playing quite well. All right, going to continue betting here with eights. Like, we're going to give up if he calls the turn as well. Some people call the flop and don't believe you, but they'll let go of the turn. People are a bit more respected on a turn bet. All right, queen five's gone. All right, so there's no major big hands happening at the moment, but we are winning small hands, consistent small hands, which is nice. All right, go fold check now without even waiting around. All right, ace eight, they're just folding, even on the button. I mean, deeper stacked you probably can, just hard to call that spot. And then hopefully they've got like ace king, ace queen. You hit two pair and you can really cause some damage against the big blinds. That was one of my favorite spots where I'd call with worse hands pre-flop. Okay, we're going to fold here. If the other guy called, we might have called, but he's also short stacked. So, all right, I'm going to flat with ace two suited. Just hoping. All right, we've got bottom pair. Backdoor flush. Okay, so there's a lot of weaker flushes out there, so we can call. And then if we hit the flush on the river, someone's going to be trying to get some value. Two of clubs, the flush, I just can't call that one. All right, I'm going to raise it up. We've got an open-ender flush draw. All right, I bet small. Hopefully someone raises with king high flush. Okay, calls. Seven. Okay, calls it seven high. Queen, sorry. So it was a good value bet in the end. Quite small though. So I bet small just to try and get weaker flushes to raise us. Like, you know, I thought maybe the king or the queen high flush might have come over the top and then we just shove and get called. She played it quite weak. And that's another reason why you got to be very careful multi-way pot, because people with better hands will be out there trying to trap. All right, I'm going to bet this one proper sixes. We have the best hands against overcards. While we're in front, we want to bet and try and close the action down. Usually don't want to make the river. Remember, small pocket pairs just don't make it to the river with the bet, like being the best hand often enough. So you've got to be quite aggressive and put yourself in a weird spot. You'll find yourself betting in some weird spots, but all right, we'll open up ace queen. We'll pocket aces again. There was a moment there we weren't getting aces or kings. Okay, now we've got aces, two lots of aces, and then top pair and the top kicker. We'll raise with aces. We'll value bet ace queen. Raise again with aces. We'll fight ace five this time. Got a gut shot. I'm just probably going to let this go with ace five. Yeah, we didn't end up having anything better than ace, so we probably saved money there in the end. The other ace hands look like they got their one pre-flop. It's just a bit unfortunate. I wanted to at least say a shove. Winning pre-flop's nice, but you want to at least win a little bit more than that, though. But a win is a win. And it's just a pair. You got to remember, pocket aces is just a pair. Huge in a tournament, though. All right, pocket twos, what is he doing? Is he Has he got an ace that's missed? Is he got a check here? So we'll try and get him to fold the river. Perfect. That's position for you as well. You need a weaker hand to bet and a stronger hand to call. As a rule of thumb. King 9 is going to open if no one else opens. If someone else opens, then we're going to fold it, obviously. Yeah, there we go. Queen Jack's folding. Marginal hand. Aces, hopefully get a 3-bet. We are under the gun. Okay, kings in the small blind. Raising it up. Oh, we'll call. All right, we'll raise it up. We'll raise aces up. Ace Jack's gone. He's got a shove here if he's got a straight. All right, we'll get some value in against some of his other hands, but if he had overpairs, sorry, he's going to call to a small bet. But expect to see a shove and then get to be forced to fold. Pocket kings again. The other pocket kings look like it folded pre-flop. So we're winning small hands, not winning big hands. Although the pocket ace 10 was okay. You'll take that. All right, we'll call. We hit 9. We've got a gut shot. What's the likelihood? All right, we'll bet a little small. The kings. Bet a little bit higher because they can't see him having a 3. So I'm going to bet quite big here. Okay. Yeah, I didn't expect him to have the 3 there. It is possible. All right, I'm going to fold short stacker. We're going to be pretty much going all in as soon as we call against him. You're either going to be winning small, very small, or losing the same size stack he's got. All right, 9-8, let's check behind. Gut shot, need the 6. All right, raising it up with ace queen offsuit. Ever raise it with the 9-8 suited. All right, we'll check here. Got top pair, top kicker. And then we'll bet and see if we can get a call. Now king, queen, queen, jack, queen 10 will actually call there. All right, we've got top pair. We could bet here and get called by queens or kings. Top pair, top kicker again. Bets into us, interesting. Okay, we'll call again. We might have to fold this one. I'm going to call. He could have ace queen, ace jack. Or a bluff. Throw a value bet in here on the river. Ace queen, hopefully see a call. All right, let go that one. All right, ace jack, top pair. Okay, kick off. All right, we'll fight ace king. We're out of position. We'll fight ace queen. Ooh, we're flushing or blushing at this stage. All right, gut shot. All right, I'm going to throw a bet in here. We are We were actually going for a flush, but unfortunately missed it. All right, here's Shaq. You're gonna fold. And there's king. Let's see what happens there. But okay, so 9 is trying to trap us. We saved a lot of money there, not going out of character though, because they either set and we gave ourselves the best chance to get to the river as cheap as possible, trying to hit that straight. And with the set, he might actually call a re-raise. And the ace jack one, it was a disciplined fold as well. I know we had a strong hands. I remember it was multi-way pot as well. All right, pocket queens, got a free bet. You can check behind. I've got one overcard. He could have jacks, 10s here or 9. All right, we'll call this off. He could be betting with a check. Okay, he played a similar line than what we did. So he just valued us. Question is, could we find a fold there? That is the question. Maybe a spot where we can find a tight fold. We were a little bit under rep though. And there will be some type of folding, some type of bluffing range that he's got there as well. So it's not 100% fold. 3 betting ace king. All right. It was very important that I actually had a good session. I did actually have in the back of my head, if we didn't have a good session, so be it. I mean, we'll probably 1 or 2 very bad sessions away before having to really think about getting rid of the Zoom tables altogether. I know playing single tables fine as well, but you know, if we ever got under $20 bankroll, we would have to look at sit and goes. Funny enough, I've done that with back in the day, back in the PokerStar days. I did actually do that where I actually got so low that I was playing the very smallest sit and goes and just crawling my way up from the basement pretty much. All right, we've got a set. Someone should have a stud here. And they did. We've got to raise it up. All right, we've got control. We've got to snap it off. He could do this with worse. He could definitely have 8s. He could have a straight. I don't think so, but I could sell it over pairs. Perfect. We're not going to cash out, which means an ace could come out and ruin our day, but we're up so much at the moment. It's not going to hurt. All right, perfect. And that was a position I was actually concentrating on. So when you do hit a set in a multi-way pot as well, don't always donk or lead out. Think about the position. So this is something I learned as well. Think about the position where, is it a wet board, like a dynamic board? Is it a dry board? If it's a dry board, you should bet because no one's actually going to throw anything in. So if you don't bet, no one else bets. You got to lose money. And on that type of board, there was a flush draw, straight draws. Someone's going to stab. They have to throw a bet in. So then we can actually look to 3-bet. So they're not always going to throw a bet in. You know, some passive players are going to check behind as well. But laws of averages you want to go by, and then you just want to, you know, set yourself up for a check raise like that. Because over pairs do call because they can't. They find it really hard to fold that one. Multi-way pot in a raise like that, on a board like that, we've lost a lot of money in that scenario. Ace jack offsuit, I did fold. I was thinking about 3-betting. All right, we'll check here with king 10. Now we've got a gut shot. We'd really want to see another club. All right, pocket aces again. Such a good run at this stage. We'll call because there's an ace and queen out there. Because then if we do hit a 10, we're in good shape to double up. All right, I'm going to flat or I'm going to raise. I'm going to raise nines actually. All right, we'll call 10. Same reason again. Oh, actually, he's so short. I'm going to fold. Damn, he's so short. I should have folded on the flop. All right, 9's 1 pre-flop. That's totally fine. I mean, some people are just trying to steal the pot pre-flop. But if they call, you know, with ace, queen, ace, jack, you hit your set, they hit their top pair, they're probably just going to keep laying into you. All right, I'm going to flat here, keep his lower engine. So he's like ace, queen, ace, jack. Got 2 overcards though. Yeah. Okay, we'll get a bet here for value. If he's got a 10 though, he's going to call and would be a bit in trouble. He could have 2 overcards, he could have queen, jack. We're definitely betting here for value. And we'll take that down. All right, pocket eights. Gone. All right, we're going to close this one down. Hold on. Where is it? Where is leave table? Oh, there it is. And we'll leave this one as well. All right, so the plan continues. The plan continues where we're going to keep playing until either 2 things. Either we lose, you know, 1 or 2 buy-ins and we start realizing that the tables aren't going our way, or we start playing really badly, or the wife gets home and the distractions start happening as well. So we don't want to play when there's distractions. We did that enough anyway, but at the same time, we'll be happy to, we'd be happy now to stop the session. But we overplay a lot when we're losing, so pushing yourselves to play when you're winning, it's not the worst thing. It's probably a good exercise to do. I remember, well, probably could have folded king, queen, but it's worked out in our favor. All right, 8's got a 3-bet. We're gonna call with a 4. He's got a lot more chips. If he hit the 8, we're good. All right, let it go. Could also call Poppy the turn there, and then look to get it all in against some of his strong hands, like his ace and kings. 10-7. Can't be really happy with this one. The time I don't 3-bet is the time we actually hit the set. We're in position here. Now we've booked it. Hopefully he's got an ace 10 or something like that. All right, get a bit small. We've got a monster overhand. That is the worst hand, actually. If he's got a 10, we're actually losing it now. That was like the worst run out. All right. Yeah, that's definitely the worst run out for. If you had a 10 or an 8, he just hits the front. Possibly we could have probably value bet there because we had the one hand that beats ace high, and ace high could actually find a hero call in such a spot because the board just misses everyone most of the time. It's going to fold here. We could have floated though. Floating's fine as well. Floating is when you got 2 overcards against the board, so and no one's hit. Okay, we'll fight. We'll call. Yeah, fair enough. How big was the bet though? It's 15 cents. It was half the pot in the river. So I don't think it was the worst call. But maybe folding there is fine as well. King queen, letting go. All right, we'll bet twos. Try and win the. A lot of people play strong against the higher cards, but the weaker pairs get people in a lot of trouble. All right, we've got a flush draw. Are we going to bet this one? We can always call. Hit second pair. I don't think we can bail it. Love to see a check though. I don't think we can call. Ace nine. All right, small hand. At least we won that one. We're starting to lose a few hands there. Not big hands, but hands to suggest that we're losing momentum in the session. At the moment, still going okay. Ace 10, just let him go there. They have poured. I mean, if he doesn't have a heart, he's folding pretty much everything. Even a set probably finds it hard to call. All right, Ace 7 suited. All right, let him go. All right, we'll actually four bet and hopefully get called by Ace King or Ace Jack. We raised quite small here as well. So try and entice him to. Didn't want to see King though. He could have jacks. We can value bet this river and get called by queens or jacks or tens. Do you really think he's got a king? I'm going to call. No, he's got aces. All right, so that's our first one we lost. So we can definitely say if we lose another one like that, we can call it a session. Or we can quit the session now. The reason why I did call there, I thought we under-wrapped our queens as well. So I thought possibly he could be doing that with worse hands. Thinking that maybe we've missed. Okay, we'll throw a Benny. We've got two pair. All right. Probably could have folded, but at the same time, I think we had a right reason to call. But he played quite trappy with the aces too. Oh, we'll call. We'll call him at least. Yeah, try and take it down just while we can. And check folding. We'll check here. It hits his range a lot. We've got some backdoor flushes as well. All right, we'll try and value bet. All right, he calls. How low did he call? That's three. A three of spades. Okay. Nice. Question mark. King queen offsuit under the gun. I do have flat ace eight suited. Back doors. All right. I got a flush draw. Gonna check and get the free card, hopefully. Missed everything. All right, we'll fold ace jack. Leads into us. Even if we do hit the jack there, I mean, if he's got a two there, he's going to be very strong. Obviously, the seven got there in the end, but can't base it on the seven. Well, maybe he can. Maybe he's got like a mediocre mid pair or something like that this bottom. All right. Ace queen. Got the tens. And check it up. Get some of these weaker hands in. I don't think queen 10 gets three streets of value. Sixes. We'll let go. Don't have a club. Plus, yeah. Obviously, there's a lot more reasons to fold there as well. Straight draws, flush draws, all the cards that are higher than ours. We'll bet this. We can't afford another heart. Try and win the pot now where we can. Gonna use the scare card. Didn't three bet us pre-flop. We've hit the nine. We only beat bluffs, really. All right, I gotta let go. Ace queen, just never really in good shape though. Maybe could argue to bet the turn as well. All right, a bit of call. Backdoor mid pair. Definitely worth calling again. All right, I think we're gonna call the session because I feel like things aren't going well now. All right. Anyway, guys, so that is the case. So what I was talking about with the strategy as well was pretty much, if you're still watching this, thank you. Like and subscribe. But this was the whole reason. The reason is getting towards the end of a session. But like if you can transfer your table, transfer back to your buy-ins, and you go up 200, 300 big blinds, then transfer the money. But then you can say, oh no, I've lost two big all-ins, pre-flop. Oh, things aren't going well. Start, creating the tables when things start going wrong. So at the moment, I felt like things weren't going right, but we had such a good session. So at that rate, let's have a quick look. You can have a look at the games I've got there as well, a couple of games. Anyway, we're sitting at 52.49. So it's a decent session. It was like 5 buy-ins this session. So it's definitely a good one. Could have been 6, but it is. We stopped it now. I'm going to cash it in. So thanks, guys. I'll catch you next time. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for everything. See you guys. Bye.